I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Over the past year, our board has engaged in many thoughtful discussions about changes we believe are important to the future of our meetings. Through the conferences we've attended and conversations with board members from other districts across our state, we've gained valuable insights. We recognize the importance of honoring those who came before us, especially as many of us were born and are raised here in the Valley. Beginning today and moving forward, we will make the land acknowledgement a permanent item on our agenda. We acknowledge that our district is on the ancestral land of the Cahuilla people, with whom we have a longstanding partnership. We are grateful for the opportunity to prepare future generations, teaching them to respect and contribute to their community and to continue the stewardship exemplified by the Cahuilla people. In the last few weeks, we have been difficult. In the last few weeks, we've had a difficult time with the passing of several members of the DSUSD family. Among those that are no longer with us is former DSUSD school board member Matt Monica. Matt was passionate about education. He served our district for 30 years, with multiple years serving as president. During that time, Matt advocated for the building of Palm Desert, La Quinta, and Shadow Hills high schools, as he recognized the growth of the communities he served and for the need for more schools. Please join us in a moment of silence, recognizing the service and contributions of those that are no longer with us. Thank you. Roll call will reflect that all board members, superintendent, and all cabinet, with the exception of Ms. Fisher, are present. We also have present our student board member, Alexis Domingo, representing La Quinta High School. I'm going to turn it over to Dr. May Volmar.
All right, we're very excited to have Alexis here with us this evening. We always ask our new student board members to tell us a little bit about themselves so that we can share that information with you as well. So hopefully you get to know a little bit about them and a little bit about the school that they attend. So we asked Alexis about the highlights of her experience as a student in Desert Sands, and she said that the things that she appreciates most are being able to participate in the Theory of Knowledge class at La Quinta High School, as well as working on her service project, which is helping her get one step closer to her full IB diploma, which is no small feat. We asked her about her hobbies and her interests, and she's very interested in photography. It's her favorite thing to do, to capture her memories and then to scrapbook those. She also serves her community in a great way. She served as ASB president, Key Club vice president, and as the STEM Club social media manager. So lots of different roles there. She volunteers in the greater community at the Find Food Bank, with park and beach cleanups and a variety of different events working with special needs students. She says that she loves expressing herself through arts, crafts, and music, and we're very excited to have you here with us this evening. Congratulations on being a student board member, and if you want to meet me down in front, we'll do the oath of office.
Approval of the minutes. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of the December 17th, 2024?
So moved, Porras.
Is there a second?
Second, Duran.
Any discussion? Hearing none, calls for the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 5-0. Board meeting addenda, Dr. May-Volmer.
There is none this evening.
Thank you. Approval of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda of the regular meeting of January 21st, 2025?
So moved.
Is there a second? Any discussion? Hearing none, calls for the question. Preferential vote.
Aye.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 5-0 with one preferential vote. Community and staff student recognition, Dr. May-Volmer.
Yes, I'd like to invite our Public Information Officer, Tamara Watkins, up to the podium. And welcome back.
Thank you. So happy to be back. One step at a time, right? All right. Good evening, members of the school board, cabinet, colleagues, and of course, our honored and esteemed guests. Welcome. It's with great pleasure that we gather to recognize a very special first cohort of its kind of students tonight. So I'd like to invite our Director of College and Career Readiness, Kevin Bebo, to the podium for a brief comment on the significance of this recognition. This is a good one, everybody.
Board and Cabinet, good evening. In the world of CTE, we have some really amazing partnerships, and one of my favorites has been with our elite cosmetology school that's right here in Palm Desert. We started this relationship a few years back, and tonight we're very excited to share with you 3 graduates of the first cohort that have completed the program, that have passed their board exams, and that now have their cosmetology licenses. And standing next to me here to help me with this is their teacher, Mr. Dax Hussey.
Thank you. Mr. Bebo, you know, if you needed a haircut, you could have stopped by the school at any time. We would have been more than happy to take care of that for you, my good sir. But don't worry, we'll get you right before your next meeting.
Okay, all right, thank you, I appreciate that. Okay, first up on our list is Camilla Cardoso from Summit High School. Next is Maya Gonzalez from Palm Desert High School. And Betty Hart from Palm Desert High School. Thank you very much.
Very well deserved. I want to see your haircut, Kevin. We'll do a before and after. All right, congratulations to Camila and Antonia, Maya, and Betty. Very well deserved. And right now, like to move on and welcome Dr. Dan Borgen, Director of Personnel and Leadership Development, to the podium. He's going to talk about Personnel's new employee recognition program.
It's okay to applaud. And Dax, I might take you up on that haircut. I'm getting a little long too. Yeah. Well, good evening, Board and Cabinet. It is my honor and privilege to join you tonight to kick off our new employee recognition program. So I secretly invited 3 of our employees here to recognize them as our first employees of the month for 2025. So please come forward, our DSUSD classified employee of the month, Marla Miller. So here's a little bit about Marla. Marla is the Nutrition Service Specialist at Kennedy Elementary School. Her principal writes, "I am honored to recognize Marla Miller, the Nutrition Services Specialist at Kennedy Elementary, as Classified Employee of the Month. Marla's exceptional dedication to the Kennedy students is evident in her leadership of the innovative Breakfast in the Classroom program. Selected as the test site for this student-led initiative, Kennedy Elementary now offers students the opportunity to enjoy breakfast with their classmates after the bell, completely free of charge. Marla put tremendous effort into setting up this program, meticulously planning and training students to manage daily food pickup and operations. Her outstanding work has resulted in a remarkable 400% increase in meals served at Kennedy. A win-win for the school, its students, and the Nutrition Services Department. Dynamic, hardworking, and student-focused, Marla exemplifies what it means to make every coyote count. It is with great enthusiasm that we celebrate her contributions and recognize her as the Classified Employee of the Month. Congratulations, Marla. Our certificated Employee of the Month is the instructional coach from Shadow Hills High School, Lacey Jones. Good, she's surprised. Here's a little bit about Lacey. Lacey is hands down the most amazing instructional coach a site could ever have. Not only does Lacey have the patience and passion to work with all teachers on the learning cycles and PLC cycles, but she goes above and beyond at every moment. She passionately believes in supporting all students with a special emphasis on English learners' needs. Under her support and team leadership, the Shadow Hills reclassification rate went into the blue on the California dashboard. She advocates for and works in hand with parents and their children. The effort she has put in for the Shadow Hills ELAC committee shows a commitment and belief in student success that goes above and beyond. Shadow Hills professional development has taken a turn for the better as Lacey spends the time to work with everyone and make the material manageable and understandable. She is always there to support where needed, and she genuinely believes and cares for all students. Shadow would be a tinge less bright without her, and we are lucky to have her as an outstanding employee. Please join me in recognizing Lacey Jones as a Certificated Employee of the Month. You probably noticed there's a whole bunch of Indio Middle School staff here. I believe this was a secret until he showed up and all his staff was here. Our principal, our management employee of the year, principal of Indio Middle School, Cully. Since becoming the Indio Middle School principal, Mr. Cullinan has made a positive impact on the students, staff, and community. He is always out on campus during passing periods and at lunch, building positive relationships with all of the Indio Middle students. Every day, he makes an effort to check in with numerous staff members to see how he can support them. When there's an event on or off campus involving Indio Middle School, Cully's always there showing support for his Indio Middle School Tigers. In addition, Cully has been instrumental in Indio Middle School being awarded both a 2025 California School to Watch and a 2025 National School to Watch. There has been a culture change at Indio Middle School, and Principal Cully is the main reason for that. I am honored to recognize Cully as the DSUSD Management Employee of the Month. Congratulations. Thank you.
How about one more giant round of applause for all of Employees of the Month? We'll have some remarks from the members of the board right now, and then if those of you who are just honored could join me out in the kiosk, then we can go ahead and take some photos. Okay, thank you.
Introduction of newer recently promoted employees. Dr. May Volmar, we have none. Okay. Board and superintendent comments. Ms. Domingo.
Congratulations to the 3 graduates of Elite Cosmetology. Also, congratulations to the Employees of the Month for January 2025. Mrs. Nuyer, thank you for serving breakfast to our students. Mrs. Jones, thank you for all you do to support our ELD students and teachers. Mr. Coley, thanks for caring about our NDO Middle School students and staff.
Yours.
We're sitting next to the Elite Cosmetology people when we were doing Portrait of a Graduate, and getting to know more about that program, and to hear that you've graduated your first cohort and these guys or gals are going to be out in the community and getting jobs. It's just wonderful. And I was speaking to somebody the other day who was going through this very expensive cosmetology class and did not get the opportunity to do that while they were in high school. And, you know, the regret, they have such a big loan and all of this, and the program we offer is so wonderful to have the students working on it while they're in high school. So thank you for what you do, and good luck for you all. Maybe you've already found your jobs, but good luck to you. Thank you. And also a big congratulations to this new program of employee recognition. I think that's wonderful. And I'm really happy for Mrs. Miller and Mrs. Jones, who I just met, little Troy, and that's why he was with his mom, and Mr. Cully, for all that you do for our schools. Thank you.
Alvarez.
Just want to reiterate the comments shared by my colleagues. It's what an opportunity to get some of this training at school, and thank you to Elite for the support, and Mr. Bebo for launching that and working with our community to get this need met. So the students, it's a great opportunity to get that skill set that you have. You can either do that full time or apply it as you want, but it's great to have the opportunity to get those hours while you're still in school. What an opportunity that was. So good job to all of you involved in that program. And to our employees of the month, that is amazing. You guys are exemplifying the work ethic that we want to encourage, and you're setting the bar very high. And Mr. Coley getting the Schools to Watch designation, that is amazing, and it's a great testament to what is going on at the school and your staff. So thank you for that leadership there, because it does take a whole team to make this happen, but it does start at the top. So appreciate the efforts from all of you, and I think that's it.
Bryce.
Well, I just want to welcome Alexis to the board. Happy to have you here. Again, I'll just reiterate what everybody's saying, ditto. But I just have to say, I'm an esthetician, and I went through the program, and this is so awesome because, yes, it's very expensive to go to the school and go through the everything. So it's wonderful that you guys are able to do that and have that opportunity to just hit the ground running. So congratulations, and good luck to you. You're going to love it. It's going to be great. So let me find out where you're at, and I'll come get a haircut. So anyway, and congratulations for Kevin for this program. I think it's awesome that we are acknowledging our Employees of the Month. And I thought, Marla, that program for the feeding our kids breakfast, what an awesome thing to do, because kids can't learn if they're hungry. So I think that's a wonderful program to have that we're doing now. Lacey, I met you as well, so congratulations. And Coley, wow, I mean, you've got your whole cheering section. I think the whole staff's here. I think that's pretty awesome. That it really is a testimony to how wonderful you are, and just a great addition to the school. So congratulations. Thank you.
And I too would like to congratulate all the award winners today, and also those of you that have just received your certifications from the cosmetology program. What a wonderful career opportunity for you. I, along with Mr. Borgen, don't have a lot of needs sometimes, but does come out a little on the windy days. So I'd be happy to come out and utilize the services. I'd like to also just say to Marla Miller and Lacey Jones, congratulations. The two of you, what you do every day there is incredible, and it's amazing. And I know that the impact that it has on students is so, it's exponentially almost unmeasurable. You know, it's the things that we don't see for a long time until years later, and they come back and they tell us what a wonderful opportunity they had to be at the schools that you make the best that it can be. And a special, I'd like to say to Cully, congratulations. What an amazing accomplishment in such a short amount of time. I've always known that Mr. Callahan is one of the most amazing educators that I've ever had the privilege of knowing and working with. And I just want to congratulate him. I see his fine staff here today, Mr. Atkins, who worked at Indio High at the time up with there. I want to appreciate everything they've done. Cully, a national school and a school to watch accreditation, so fast, so furious. My head is still spinning, but man, best to you, best to your staff, Indio Middle School. You guys rock, and congratulations again.
I too want to welcome our student board member, Ms. Domingo. I don't think there's much to say after everything you said. That was probably the best student board member comment that we've had. But I do want to congratulate our students for their certificates, but I want to thank Elite Cosmetology for the partnership. This is a partnership that I think is great for our students to be able to graduate and to have something to just go immediately get a job. And I wish that we find more of these partnerships because it's amazing. The employees of the month, I congratulate you too. I want to always acknowledge, and I always do and I always will, the administration and your colleagues that are here to support you. You got this recognition, and them being here is a testament to why you received it. Dr. McGilmore.
Thank you. Yes, what an exciting evening. Clap for Dr. Watson. Stealing your thunder there. I also just want to say congratulations to the first cohort. There's something very special about that. So I'm sure that not only getting recognized as the first graduates, you've helped work out kinks and different things along the way, right? And so you really have blazed a trail for others to follow. And we appreciate that and are really very, very proud of you. And I want to echo Dr. Watson's sentiment. We've got, which we're very proud of, over 44 certificates in Desert Sands that students can walk out of our doors with and find a viable job. And that's so important to us because we know that we have to prepare all of our students for college, career, or life, whichever path that they take. But we could not do that without partnerships like the one that you provide us. And so thank you so much for that and making it such a special program. And I want to save Mr. Bebo a little bit from the haircut joke. He, and I'm going to botch this, so my apologies, but he actually writes films, and he recently had his film accepted to, fill in the blank for me, please, Kevin?
That one was the...
Oh, there was more than one.
Santa Barbara, oh boy, yeah, I'm going to get it wrong. Anyway, it was a screenplay contest in Santa Barbara for reaching out
Right.
to first writers, and so I qualify in the elderly group.
So he's just letting the, artist in him come out in his hair. Maybe that's what that is. All right, congratulations, Kevin. I know.
Congratulations.
Yes, and I have known both Marla and Lacey for a very long time, and so well deserved, so well deserved. And Cully, I was just out at Indio Middle. I think it was a week ago, maybe it was longer, but have done such a great job, and the whole staff there. Congratulations to all of you. But you really have done an amazing job in a sort of short amount of time, and we're very, very proud of you. And I just want to finish. It made me actually think of what I was already going to say, but certainly the community that you've built already at Indio Middle School, and everyone contributes to that, right? That's not just one person, and I know you know that, but you do lead that work. But yesterday we celebrated Martin Luther King Day, and so hopefully each of you had some time, whatever you were doing on that day, whether it was works of service or anything like that, hopefully you had time to reflect on his life and his legacy and to be inspired by that. I know I certainly was. So I just wanted to highlight that day and give it some attention. So thank you.
At this time, I'd like to excuse our student board member and invite everyone here for recognition to join your family and friends in celebration unless you plan to stay for the remainder of the meeting. And go out for your picture in the hallway. Yes. Okay. Just making me try. That's really inspirational. My New Year's resolution, I guess. Right? Oh my gosh, we walked from our house to Pigeon West. I was wondering if you went. We walked to us, walked around, walked around. Okay, public comment on open session items. Communications from the floor in accordance with the bylaws of the board number 9323. Time is reserved for oral communication by members of the Board of Education or by citizens. Citizens wishing to be heard on agenda items, regular or special meetings, and or non-agenda items within the subject matter jurisdiction of the board, regular meetings only, shall have a 3-minute limit. A total of 20 minutes will be reserved for public comment on each item. The board president, with concurrence of the board, may extend this time if deemed appropriate due to the number of citizens wishing to speak on an item. In accordance with the law, the board cannot take action on any matter not appearing on the agenda as indicated in the bylaws of the board number 9232.2. Individual speakers shall be allowed 3 minutes to address the board on each agenda, regular or special meeting, or non-agenda item regular meeting. The board shall limit the total time for public input on each item to 20 minutes. Please be advised that there is a possibility that some items discussed during public comments will not be developmentally appropriate for minors. We ask that parents use discretion when choosing to remain in the boardroom during public comment. If you choose to leave the room, you may wait in the overflow location at the end of the hallway and you will be notified when public comments have concluded. There are no online public comments, and we have one, Laura Lee.
I was going to say good morning. I'm really a mess. Good evening. Happy New Year. DEI, not dead with me for sure, but that's for next time. Tonight I want to speak about the CSEA office, or the lack thereof. Just to be very specific about how this came about. Cindy McDaniel, Sherry Johnstone came to me when they heard that we were looking for an office and offered up the old security. Worked out just great for all the years that it did. I understand that you needed it. Okay, whatever. I think the thing that's hard to deal with is that I believe that the district, I know that the district has compared DSTA with CSEA. There's no comparison. They do $100,000 a month. We do $100,000 a year. Our office space is not ever going to look like theirs, nor are we ever going to have anything that is even resembles it. We're looking at a room for $1,200. We don't have that kind of money. I understand there's not a place in this whole district that could adequately house us, where we're living in a closet right now. Yes, you put a window in the door, but it's a closet nonetheless. And this is how we're conducting business. However, that business can still be conducted because why? You got a full-time release president in the building where all classified management is housed, okay? And where it's easy to meet. We used to wear this carpet out. That's why they put new carpet in. That was personnel and CSEA walking back and forth day in and day out because we had a good thing going. I feel as though the issue with possible outside entrance is ridiculous. We had an outside entrance there, never had one issue with any president in there. And there were about 5 or 6 presidents in that office. There was never, to my knowledge, ever an issue. I think if we were at the negotiating table right now, I'd have to say the district was there in bad faith. This is not fair. There is a place, there is always a room at the inn that can help us, okay? You will deplete us and make us fail down the road. Not with this group, not with these officers now, but down the road, we'll fail because we don't have that kind of money. And there was at one time a district, an administration that wanted us to succeed. I'm not feeling it now. I've heard rumors about other reasons why you didn't want us there. I don't think that you have to worry about those reasons anymore, and I won't bring them up. But I think that it's time that CSEA and the district and the board come together and do something worthwhile here because we got a good thing going. Thank you. By the way, without any, I would just like to recognize our dear Lucy Escarzaga, who passed away last week. Be nice if she was mentioned here. She was a long-time employee and the go-to girl, okay? So God bless her family. May she rest in peace. Thank you.
Information, Palm Desert High School boys and girls wrestling teams participation in the California Interscholastic Federation State Tournament in Bakersfield, California from February 26 to March 1st, 2025. Shadow Hills High School girls wrestling team participation in the California Interscholastic Federation State Tournament in Bakersfield, California from February 26 to March 2nd, 2025. Our Head Start program reports for August to October 2024. Prepayment of Desert Sands Unified School District 2014 certificates of participation, disposal of surplus property report per resolution number 01/2024-2025, and quarterly report summary on Williams uniform complaints October to December 2024. Staff conference items, Dr. May Volmar.
Yes, for the first item, I'll turn it over to Mr. Aquino.
Good evening, Board, Madam President, Superintendent Kelly May Volmer. I'd just like to introduce to you Adam Bauer. He is he's the President and CEO of Fieldman Rollup and Associates. He's also our financial advisor, and he's going to talk to you today about the issuance of Measure A GO bonds. Also in the audience is Kristen Gare from Piper Sandler. I think she's the managing director there. And she's also on our bond issuance team as well.
Great, and thank you. And this presentation looks very similar to what you've seen many times, but you brought it to life. Nice job on getting that general obligation bond passed, and so now we're looking at that first series of bonds and the possibility of a refinancing. That one I want to be careful of. Rates have gone up a little bit. Doesn't quite look as attractive as it once did, but we'll see by the time we get to pricing whether that makes sense or not. We will only do that if it gives sufficient savings to the taxpayers. But if we go to the next slide, please. On our first slide, we really wanted to highlight that first bullet point, which I've already done. In March 5th of 2024, you passed your measure. That authorized an additional $675 million. We're looking at your consideration for $150 million of that. That really got some projects started, which we had a workshop on a few months ago, I guess. All that, this measure, even though we're combining measures, this one on its own has a maximum of $60. So to put that in perspective, if you had no other measures, we could only go to 60. That becomes relevant down the road, but not in the immediate term. All your measures were targeting the 75. That's what we have there. And so that's what we're highlighting with that first piece there. But I'm going to pause for a moment, let Ms. Guerra give us a bit of a market update, and then I'll come back.
So if we go to the next slide, please. So the district is issuing tax-exempt bonds, and what that means is the interest on those bonds is exempt from federal and state income tax, which is great news for the district and taxpayers because that's a lower interest rate for the Measure A bonds. There's a lot of information on this chart or this slide, but the chart on the left-hand side charts the municipal market data, and that's the index that we use, that we price off of to set our interest rates for the Measure A bonds. That's the tax-exempt interest rate index. And the two lines in the darker green is the 30-year MMD rate, and the lighter green is the 10-year MMD rate. And we are showing a 10-year history of interest rate movement. If we kind of go to more recent times, we hit all-time interest rate lows during the COVID era. We all experienced that. Then we had a strong economic recovery. Beginning in March of 2022, the Federal Reserve started raising interest rates, their short-term rate. They raised them 11 different times up until about July of 2023, all to combat inflation. So we're living in a higher interest rate environment. You fast forward to 2024, in September was the first time we saw some economic cooling, signs of some economic cooling, early signs, and the Federal Reserve responded and lowered rates about 0.5 percentage point, the first time they had actually lowered rates since the hikes. And then from September until December, they lowered rates 4 times, so a full percentage point, but that's the short-term rates. At the same time, we continue to see some more robust economic activity come out. I think is most recently in December, there was a stronger jobs report. So we have seen interest rates creep back up. And in their last meeting in late December, the Federal Reserve did signal that there may be they may not be raising rates as quickly as they had anticipated. A lot remains to be seen with respect to where we're headed. We have a new administration that settled in yesterday, I guess it was. So we'll see how things continue to unfold. The other thing, too, is we all know that November was a big bond election year in the state, a lot of school districts on the ballot. So we are expecting an uptick in supply. We're really happy to be before you tonight and kind of get in position to get into the market in the next couple of months. And then just shifting back, last point on in terms of interest rates. If we put this in real historical terms, on the right-hand side, that chart with the bars shows a 20-year history of interest rates from the highs to the lows in years 1 all the way out to year 30. And the line that kind of runs right through the middle, that might be a little bit hard to see, that's where we are today. So really what that's telling us is that on average, we're where we sit today, even though we feel like interest rates are higher, we've lived through some historically low rate environment, we're really in line with historical averages.
Thank you. And your next slide focuses on assessed value, and I've shared this with you many, many times, so won't spend a lot of time on this, but you continue to have what I would consider above average and robust growth in your assessed value. Next slide, please. This is the slide where we looked at your outstanding debt, and those ones highlighted in the light blue, those are the ones that should market conditions stay where we're at now or get a little bit lower. Those would be potentially, we could refinance those for savings for the taxpayers. But like I said, we'll only do that if the savings are sufficient to add on to your transaction. So next slide, please. This is your overall program. And that dark blue, or the royalish blue, that's your existing measures K and KK. We wrap around that your additional measure A. And even though we have 4 series of bonds in here, I want to be really clear. The actions before you this evening are only for Series A. You're going to get a chance, and we're going to want to, recalibrate this every few years as the circumstances change. But that first one, Series A, is the only item before you. But we wanted you to have the perspective of how this unfolded over time. And when I told you this measure only had $60 when it's a standalone measure, that's why you see that red line drop off after K and KK drop off. Another thing I think is really important is these two acronyms down there, KIBS and CABS. KIBS work a lot like our home mortgage. Once those bonds are sold, the interest accrues, taxpayers repay that. A CAB is a zero coupon bond that interest accrues over time and compounds. It's much more expensive than doing a KIB. So hopefully you notice there is 100% of your bonds are KIBs, the traditional bonds. Next slide, please. So these are in your resolutions. They're called the good faith estimates. And rather than read all this to you, I'll just focus right there in the middle, that 4.07. That's your true interest cost. That's the all-in cost that we look at on doing something like that. This is what we call the new money. This is at $150 million for projects. Next slide, please. This is the refinancing. And when we talk about why the refinancing might not work today, look how much lower that cost is. It's a shorter-term debt, shorter term where the rates have gone up a little bit. And that's why that one may or may not work depending on where market conditions are when we have our IPO for these bonds. Next slide, please. This is just our general schedule. We are before you this evening asking for your consideration. We have a rating that we were expected to get. This is what investors use to assign rates and decide whether they're interested in buying your bonds. We would have the bond pricing around March 6th, and then two different closings. The closing for the refunding has to be within 90 days of an interest payment, and so that's why that one lags there a little bit. But we'll see where the market stands and whether both those could be accomplished. The March 20th, that one is just getting your new money. The May 6th is whether we can refinance. So those are all the slides we prepared. If there's any questions, we're both here. But we wanted to give you this before you had your item later this evening.
I have none, but thank you for the good report that is understandable and easy to look at. Thank you.
I have none. Thank you, sir.
I have none. I appreciate your report. Thanks.
Maybe just one. Once the bonds, basically the refunding occurs, or about how long till we expect the funds, or, I mean, does...
So when you have a refunding, you're not getting any funds, right? So that one, never. When you are doing the new money transaction, as we call it, with this schedule, we'd hit March 20th. The funds would be available.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Welcome.
None. Thank you, Adam.
Great, thank you. Good to see everyone.
All right. For our next presentation, I'll turn it over to Dr. Wood.
All right, good evening, everyone. So I'd like to invite our Director of State and Federal Programs, Dr. Angela Randolph, up to the podium, as well as Coordinator of Multilingual Learner Programs, Nancy Valador, for our Multilingual Learner Programs update.
All right, good evening, Board of Trustees, Superintendent Kelly May Vollmer, and Cabinet. Tonight, Nancy and I will provide an update on the multilingual learner programs in Desert Sands Unified School District. Before we get started, I just wanted to briefly review the goals that are in our multilingual learner master plan. Our first goal is to create equitable, coherent, and sustainable systems for our English learner programs. By developing equity-driven processes that deliver research-based programs and practices, we do address our students, our English learners' specific needs. We establish and we deliver effective family community engagement systems, and we implement an accountability model that ensures our English learner student success. So we're going to look at the updates through the lens of the various chapters in the Multilingual Learner Master Plan. Beginning with Chapter 1, the vision for English learner education. Our master plan is based on or is aligned with the California English Learner Roadmap. And in the roadmap and in our master plan, our vision is to ensure that our students reach high academic levels in their grade level content, as well as attaining high levels of English proficiency. And within the English Learner Roadmap, there are principles and elements by which our master plan is based. Chapter 2, responding to diverse learners. If you look to this left-hand side, you'll see here the key content in this chapter as well as the subsequent chapters. So when we identify our students, we use the LPAC, also known as the English Learner Proficiency Assessment for California. And the State and Federal Programs Office created a strategic plan to ensure the multiple stakeholders or educational partners in our district had a clear understanding of the LPAC, from the state and federal programs facilitators, training multilingual learner leads, the ELDITCs, and these positions in turn train teachers at school sites. We also trained principals and had an extensive training for parents, so that not only do the students have an understanding of what's on the LPAC and prepped for that, but also various partners in the school district. So we continue to do our LPAC student data chats as well as our kickoff assemblies at the school sites. Our Elevation platform is used extensively by teachers, principals, counselors are requesting it more and more to use because all of our English learner data is at our fingertips through the Elevation platform. Reclassification of English learners with disabilities is another area that we have put a lot of emphasis on in the last several years, and we continue to offer sessions for our general ed teachers as well as our special education teachers so that we can reclassify students and ensure that they have access to other programs at their school site or classes. And once again, we will do a district-wide reclassification celebration at the end of the school year. Chapter 3 is Language Acquisition Program Options. In the state of California, the Structured English Immersion program is the default program. However, as we all know, we have a dual language immersion program in Desert Sands, which entails programs at Reagan and Jackson Elementary Schools. We're continuing our collaboration with CABE, the California Association for Bilingual Education. They assist us with professional development, coaching cycles, and extensive professional development sessions, full-day sessions throughout the year. This year, we expanded our DLI program at the TK level as well as the 5th grade level. Next year, we're expanding to Desert Ridge Academy. We're super excited about that. We have a DLI secondary transition team that's been in existence for a couple years now. So we're working thoroughly to address all the various needs to transition from an elementary to a secondary site. The State Seal of Biliteracy. The Erica Pinuelas, that is in the State and Federal Programs Office, is working closely with the Riverside County Office of Education and Ralph Reyes, our counselor on special assignment at the district office, so that we can cast a wider net to ensure that we're providing additional assessments to students so that they can demonstrate proficiency in another language. And we're doing all of that ultimately through the State Seal of Biliteracy task team that we have also. English language development. So our ELD teachers at the school site are provided support by our project facilitators as well as at the elementary level with our English language development coaches. Our elementary school teachers have received professional development through or with the benchmark ELD Express training, that's Tier 1 professional development, and secondary are receiving through core content areas, core ELD as well as supplemental ELD programs. The ELD intervention teachers were building their capacity like we did last year. Last year was their first year in the school district. This year, we're continuing to do the extensive training through the Riverside County Office of Education. They are participating in instructional coaching days, letters training, as well as benchmark ELD Express training. We are continuing our English learner with disability training for all elementary teachers, were invited to attend as well as secondary. That's both gen ed and special ed. We're very happy with our newcomer support. We're providing more extensive support as it relates to newcomers, not just with after-school academies, but with our entailing our core content and also supplemental material. But this summer will be our 3rd year that we offer the Newcomer Summer Language Academy for our newcomer students. So what we just covered was designated English language development. That's focused on the ELD standards. Now we're segueing into the integrated ELD development, which comprises both designated ELD end up being a comprehensive ELD program together. So professional development that we offer provides supports to a multitude of teachers throughout the district to ensure that we are supporting them as they are supporting our students in the classroom. On the last bullet here, you'll see paraeducator training. We are really happy to inform you that we are beginning to train our paraeducators who are working with ELs with disabilities. So our state and federal projects office team is working with integrated ELD strategies and providing that to, ultimately by the end of February, 135 paraeducators who work with ELs with disabilities. Student progress monitoring. So this is an important component of an English learner program. So with the language appraisal teams at the school sites, looking at the academic support plans that are required for us to progress monitor, looking at the students' iReady, CASP, LPAC scores, through the school site Tier 1 and Tier 2 leadership teams, ensuring through the multi-tiered system of support framework that our students are making progress. So beyond student progress, then we look at the higher level, the program evaluation and accountability. This slide gives us a snapshot of like what would happen during a federal program monitoring review. Every 2 years, we are eligible from the California Department of Ed to be selected to have a FPM review, and it's extremely extensive, and it entails a lot of program evaluation components. Staffing and professional learning, as I already mentioned, several of these have been touched upon, but just to highlight, the collaboration we have with the Riverside County Office of Education, we reached out to them last year and we had Molly McCabe come, but also they appreciate our collaboration, and it's a very strong collaboration, and we've had up to 4 of the Riverside County Office of Ed specialists work with us at one time. Molly McCabe, Lisa Winberg, Dr. Colleen Flavin, and Victor Portillo. So they're invested with us as a district so that we can build out the ELD ITCs, the English Language Development Teacher Coaches, to build their capacity. The other thing that I mentioned down there on the bullet here is the Multilingual Learner Lead meeting. That's a monthly meeting that we have with our liaisons, so to speak, at each school, so we can provide updates and we can provide support, so we can ensure our program is in compliance, moving along, and we are supporting them as a team at the district office. The last bullet, I just want to highlight, thank you for earlier this year for approving our contract with the Center for Equity for English Learners at Loyola Marymount University. We have begun that process, and we are now starting to literally write the dual language immersion master plan. And now I'm going to turn it over to Nancy Velador.
Thank you, Dr. Randolph. Good evening, Board President, Trustees, Superintendent May Vollmer, and our esteemed Cabinet and our esteemed guests. Tonight, I am proud to present how our district's efforts to strengthen family school partnerships have come full circle. Our work with ELD coaches, multilingual leads, and ELD teachers have been instrumental in bringing the gap between classrooms and homes, ensuring that strategies and practices used in instruction are effectively extended to support our parents. These efforts exemplify how instructional initiatives directly connect to English learner family engagement, fostering a partnership that enhances student success. This work not only aligns with our instructional priorities, but also demonstrates the transformative power of collaboration in raising the bar for parent engagement. For years, research has shown that strong family-school partnerships lead to improved student outcomes, such as improved identification of needs, social-emotional development, attendance, academics, lower suspension rates, increased graduation rates, improved preparation for college and career readiness. And as we know, outcomes are best achieved when families and schools work together, collaboratively and in an ongoing partnership that is focused on supporting improved learning and developmental outcomes. First, we focused on authentic, meaningful school partnerships using the EL Family Engagement Framework. We prioritize building trust and meaningful relationships with families. This foundation has fostered a culture of inclusivity and collaboration across both site and district levels. Second, we embrace the diverse educational partnership engagement and input. Through the active participation of educational partners, including ELAC and DLAC and joint parent committees, educators, and community leaders, we tailored our strategies to meet the diverse needs of our families. It's important to highlight that ELAC plays a vital role in reviewing and commenting on the local control accountability and the school plan for student achievement, ensuring that parent voices are integral to these critical plans. Third, we provided robust family and parent learning opportunities. These included comprehensive workshops and sessions designed to empower our families in supporting their children's academic and social emotional growth. Key initiatives included PICE, the Parent Institute for Quality Education. Our first school of 2024, Dr. Carrion Elementary School, hosted. 48 parents enrolled in the program, and 48 parents graduated. Hats off to Dr. McCall and Dr. Strange. Our next school up for PICE is Jackson Elementary School in the winter and Franklin Elementary in the spring. Our parents have also been given the opportunity to attend the California Association for Bilingual Education, state and regional conferences, workshops led by experts as Chaz Perez, who is a TEDx speaker. His theme is Turning Pain into Passion. He will also be returning in the spring. Thank you to some of our board members that attended his first presentation where he is addressing social emotional learning techniques. Also, David Ramos, our family engagement specialist, providing trauma-informed sessions. Susan Rodriguez, she is an MFT and art therapist, and she will also be addressing SEL through art. Rafael Reyes will be presenting on A through G requirements and FAFSA. Since the fall, we have been presenting LPAC awareness strategies for our parents of Spanish, Vietnamese, and Arabic-speaking families, as well as a session on culture and identity. Our Chief of Innovation, Tiffany Norton, also presented on generative AI, a workshop that parents were just demanding, which is a wonderful thing. They wanted to learn what the latest is on generative AI. Fourth, we communicate with our EL parents via email, peach jar, text, phone calls, and flyers to ensure our families stay informed and connected. Fifth, we empowered parents through DLAC training, partnering with Riverside County Office of Education. Our DLAC parents were trained on how to help build their ELACs. They attended 3 sessions in the fall. We also trained DLAC parents on how to observe ELD practices such as student sentence frame usage and academic vocabulary integration during classroom visits. Our parents' contributions will strengthen continuous improvement. We also monitored engagement efforts to EL families systematically. At the site level, ELAC committees ensure localized feedback, while at the district level, DLAC aligned initiatives with overarching goals during DLAC and our LCAP advisory committee meetings. The impact of these efforts have been profound. Together, we have reached hundreds of families, elevating their role as essential educational partners in education. From site-specific ELAC meetings to district-wide DLAC initiatives, we have established a sustainable framework for family engagement that supports student success. In closing, this journey reflects the true strength of Desert Sands Unified School District collaboration. Our educators, administrators, parents, and district leaders have worked hand in hand to set a new standard for raising the bar among our English learner families. Together, we are ensuring that every voice is heard and valued as we shape the future of our students. Thank you, Desert Sands Unified School District School Board, Superintendent May Volmer, Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services, Dr. Marcus Wood, and Cabinet for your support. Thank you. Oh, here are some amazing photos, sorry. Family school partnerships, one that our parents are absolutely raving about. They feel so included and just recognized, is Coffee with Kelly. That has been something stellar. Our parents from our DLAC that have attended have come back to DLAC and sharing how inclusive those events are for our English learner parents. In the first photo, parents working on LPAC awareness strategies. A second photo is David Ramos working with our parents with trauma-informed strategies. In the third photo here is Riverside County Office of Education, our DLAC parents attending those 3 sessions with Riverside, where we were the only district there. All the districts in the valley were invited, and our Desert Sands Unified School District DLAC parents, boy, they really shined. So, and then finally, the last photo is Raising the Bar with Chaz Perez, who's coming back in the springtime. Thank you so much.
Just in conclusion, first of all, I would just like to shout out Nancy Velador. When she says raising the bar, she has really raised the bar. She is really responsible. She will always say it takes a team, and yes, it does, but she's extremely persistent. She's relentless, and she has energy galore. So with all the changes, please do, major. She just always says it takes a team. If you can ever make it over to any of the parent sessions, sometimes you'll see up to 40 or 50 people there, even on a Monday or Tuesday morning, on a day you would never expect it. So I just really want to, acknowledge her contribution to our team, to the district, because she has really helped raise the bar and created a team to help do that. So thank you, Nancy. Thank you. So in conclusion, in the classroom, a child's language is the most important tool they have for building understanding and connection.
En el aula, el idioma de un niño es la herramienta más importante que tiene para construir comprensión y conexión.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ms. Pierce?
Thank you for this report. I have noticed in our Friday letters and so forth, our communications showing your great turnout for parent engagement at these workshops, and I didn't realize some of them are in the morning.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, so that'd be great if we know. I personally would like to know when they might be being held and to drop in and see the energy going there with the parents writing their posters and, talking to each other and everything. So thank you for what you do, and thanks for the report. I don't know now, these are all, more of these strategies have been put into effect from this school year on and a little bit last year, and hopefully our LPAC scores in the spring, at the end of the year, will reflect some of this dedication and persistence in making sure the kids are getting the support they need. So
Exactly.
thank you.
Thank you.
I want to second that. I also would like to get the dates and times. I know I requested them before, but haven't yet obtained them. So
The date of
the
what?
dates of the
Sessions?
meeting. Yes, please. Depending on the time of day, I may or may not be able to get there, but I would love to have the opportunity to attend.
We'll put those in the Friday letters again, the updates.
Please and thank you. How many newcomers do we have total?
Off the top of my head,
Roughly,
yeah, total. Do you remember the total?
400?
Yeah.
How- Yeah. How many participated in that program you guys mentioned about the newcomer? academy?
Last summer, each year it has grown. Nancy, do you remember the changes?
No, it's just a great program to offer
Yes.
support. And if we do have a site that's heavily impacted, maybe even a newcomer session at the school throughout the year for those that need that
Yes.
additional.
We have one school site that is offering after-school academy or an after-school program for their newcomers. So it's something that as a team that we're still considering, like how can we help support the sites to have something going on during the actual school year also. Yes, to your point.
Thank you. Just appreciate all those efforts. I know it's a difficult task for our English learners, but the efforts you guys have contributed is duly noted. So thank you guys, all
Thank
of you,
you.
the team, for the
The
efforts.
team, yep, exactly.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your report. I have no questions, but thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Grant?
Increíble. That's all I
Increíble.
gotta say. Think
Thank
it
you.
translates both ways. I just absolutely am amazed to hear all the great things that are happening on there, and I'm so proud of all the work that you do. I truly like the dates because I will take time off to go down and be with you and to garner the support. I want you to know, because newcomers to me are always that special something when you go to a school, because it's what they see for the first time and those interactions that they have, and you want to make it as seamless, as smooth, and as just, well, with more speech.
Right.
That we can give each and every one of them. And I do concur with the team, but every team, as we enter the finals here for the football, I know, and everyone knows, has a quarterback and a head coach. And I know the coaches come from up here, but I think I know who the quarterback you were mentioning is earlier.
Yep.
And I'm proud to let her take the helm and run that team. So thank you so much for your presentation this evening. Very uplifting to hear such wonderful news from the program. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I want to thank Nancy for your efficient delivery of that. It was amazing. I appreciate that. I want to thank you guys as a parent. I always will say it's so important to get those parents involved, to get the family involved. It's only going to help our students be more successful. The only thing, it's not a question, but I've brought it up with Dr. May Volmar, is the expansion of the DLI program. And just keeping an eye on if there is a significant percentage in drop-off in going to the middle school, and if there is, how can we address that?
Right.
Dr. May Volmar?
Yeah, I just wanted to, I appreciate so much you giving Nancy kudos. I wanted to do the same. It really is, when you're talking about seeing 40 or 50 parents, the contrast to that is there used to be 2 or 3. And so it's really huge. And the reclassification events at the end of the year, Indio High School gym is maxed out. I mean, you just can't get any more people in there. And so, Nancy, you have done an outstanding job. And I know it does take a team. I know it takes a team, but you have done an outstanding job leading that team. And Dr. Randolph mentioned federal program monitoring reviews and all that work that's done. I just want to highlight our last federal program monitoring review that we had 0 findings, which is virtually unheard of. And so for the work that she and her team do every single day, day in and day out, along with the work that's done at the sites, is huge. And I'll just end saying that Tiffany Norton's generative AI presentation, she delivered it last week at a national conference, and she is a rock star.
Oh, yeah. All right. Thank
Okay, public hearing number 08/2024-2025, Altus Charter School Petition. On November 22nd, 2024, the district received a charter school petition from Altus Schools Coachella Valley charter petitioners to operate a non-classroom-based charter school under the authorization of the Desert Sands Unified School District's Board of Education. The petition included a certification by the petitioner that it was deemed complete. A charter school may be authorized by a school district or county board of education, but operates independently of the district. This charter school seeks to renew a charter petition that was previously granted by the Hesperia Unified School District, although the charter school has operated within our district boundaries. Tonight, the board will hold a public hearing pursuant to the Education Code Section 47605B. This public hearing is to provide the board with the opportunity to measure the public response to the charter school proposal and to consider the level of support from the district teachers, other district employees, and parents. The public hearing will proceed as follows. First, a representative of the charter school petitioner will be given 5 to 7 minutes for a presentation regarding the provisions of the petition. Following the presentation and in accordance with the board bylaw 9323, public comment will be heard for a period of 20 minutes from individuals who wish to comment on the charter petition. Each individual speaker who wishes to be heard will be given 3 minutes to speak. The board will not take action on the charter petition tonight. The board is scheduled to take action to grant or deny the charter petition at its board meeting on February 18th, 2025. Actually, we'll do the presentation and then we'll open public comments.
Okay. Well, good evening, members of the board, Superintendent May Volmer, and cabinet members. My name is Wade Ashbrenner, and I'm the lead petitioner for Altus Schools, Coachella Valley. And just to give you some context, I know there's a lot of text on this slide, but I'll try to summarize it as best as possible. In 2013, the Palm Desert Resource Center, as part of Mira Secondary School, began serving students in the Desert Sands Unified School District boundaries, and has served as a cornerstone of opportunity for students seeking a personalized, non-classroom-based independent study option for the past decade. As state legislation has evolved, we have adapted to meet new requirements while maintaining our commitment to student success. Tonight, we seek your support to continue as Altus Schools Coachella Valley, chartered by the Desert Sands Unified School District, ensuring that there's uninterrupted educational services for our students. Mirrors Secondary School operates 2 resource centers in the boundaries of the Hesperia Unified School District and 1 adjacent county resource center in Riverside County here in Palm Desert. The Palm Desert Resource Center, as I stated earlier, opened in 2013, serves grades 7 through 12, and currently has an enrollment of 150 students. With the passage of Assembly Bill 1507, it's necessary that this petition to continue to operate the Palm Desert Resource Center. Our petition aligns with the Education Code Section 47605.1, ensuring that we meet all legal requirements of a continuing charter school. The California Department of Education recognizes our continued operation of the Palm Desert Resource Center under these new guidelines, and we are committed to maintaining full legal compliance. The Palm Desert Resource Center's operational results have consistently been positive financially. The operational budget submitted with the charter petition is based on historical trends, ensuring reliability and fiscal responsibility. Enrollment projections and average daily attendance have been carefully trended based on historical data. Importantly, the reserves of the Palm Desert Resource Center are strong, with a beginning cash balance of approximately $1.4 million as shown in the petition, which provides a solid beginning foundation for the school. ADA revenues, which are directly generated by the students who attend the Palm Desert Resource Center, will stay with the school, ensuring that the funding follows the students it serves. Additionally, independent external auditors conduct annual operational and financial audits, and our audit reports have consistently had no findings or exemptions. The financial stability underscores our commitment to transparency and responsible school management. Altus Schools Coachella Valley will operate an independent study academic intervention program. Our dedicated teachers work closely with parents to provide a rigorous and customized academic experience. Each student benefits from personalized course planning, one-on-one attention from California credentialed teachers, individualized college and career planning. We collaborate closely with our families to craft an academic experience that supports diverse needs, including flexible schedules to help students thrive. And as they spoke earlier in 2024, you saw the great support. Since 2017, we have served approximately 900 students from the Desert Sands Unified School District, underscoring our strong ties to this community. Our program offers a unique option for students who might not succeed in the traditional school setting. With projected enrollment of 200 students, Altus Schools Coachella Valley is poised to continue providing high-quality education that meets the needs of local families. Altus Schools Coachella Valley builds upon the strong foundation established by Mirrors Secondary School, which has been serving students since 2007 in Hesperia. And during the preceding 18 years, the school has received unanimous renewals twice and is on schedule to receive a 3rd renewal in 2 weeks on February 3rd from the Hesperia Unified School District. Student demographics. Our student population mirrors that diversity of the Desert Sands Unified School District. Many students come to us seeking a personalized learning environment, and currently 66.9 or almost 67% of our students are socially economically disadvantaged. Over 80% of our student population are members of a minority group. 16% of our students receive special education services, and unfortunately at this time 2.5% of our students are experiencing some level of homelessness. By fostering inclusion and support, we provide a space where all students can thrive. For the preceding 5 years, Mirrors Secondary School has been exceeding both the county and state dashboard alternative school status graduation rate for all students. And last year, 92.9% of our students graduated. Many of these students overcame immense challenges, making their achievements truly life-changing. This outcome is an example of the transformative impact of our program on students in the community. Part of the MOU is how our students outperform comparable dashboard alternative schools in ELA and math on the CASP tests. Our commitment to academic rigor is evident in our students' exceptional performance. In 2023, Mirrors students scored over 90 points higher than the Riverside County DAS average and more than 90 points higher than the state average in English language arts. These strong results affirm the strength of our instructional support. In the CAS testing, our math distance from standard on the dashboard was over 60 points higher than the Riverside County dashboard alternative school average and over 55 points higher than the state average. These achievements, again, in math demonstrate the effectiveness of our academic intervention strategies. Chronic absenteeism. Student engagement is a hallmark of our program with a chronic absentee rate of just 1.9%. Altus Schools Coachella Valley has successfully kept students engaged and prevented learning loss. This figure is significantly outperforms state and county averages for chronic absenteeism. With a strong enrollment, state-of-the-art facilities, a stellar financial record, and tremendous community support, Altus Schools Coachella Valley is well positioned to continue serving as a model for innovative education. To recap what has been presented and fully outlined in the charter petition, Altus Schools Coachella Valley is the continuing evolution of a Palm Desert Resource Center that was established in 2013. It's currently operated by Mirrors Secondary School. Mirrors is a non-classroom-based charter school. It has a proven track record with the Hesperia Unified School District, as I mentioned earlier, having operated in Hesperia since 2007. The decision to establish the Palm Desert Resource Center as Altus Schools Coachella Valley and continuing to operate as a continuing charter school was made in accordance with applicable state laws to continue providing high-quality education option for students within the Desert Sands School District. Mirrors' longstanding history of successfully serving students, over 1,000 students in San Bernardino County, stands as undeniable evidence of our capacity to create and sustain a charter school that is academically, operationally, and financially strong. Altus Schools Coachella Valley intends to continue building on the well-established foundation of success here in the Coachella Valley. I urge you to approve this charter petition, and I thank you for this time this evening.
Okay, we will open public comments at 8:18 p.m.
Good evening. I'm Trina Gonzalez-Alisi. I am the Desert Sands Teachers Association president. And I would like it known that Desert Sands Unified School District already offers a non-classroom based education. We have multiple avenues for which students can seek out their education. We've had amazing presentations from schools within our own school district from these students who have come here to talk about the amazing education that they have received within the school district. That meets their needs because they, for one reason or another, they cannot or should not attend a classroom-based education. We've seen that time and time again, and I would be remiss if I didn't speak out on behalf of the members of Desert Sands Teachers Association, because those students should belong, if they are in our district, they should be going to our district schools. Again, there are multiple opportunities for them to attend non-classroom based education. So I just have to say that. Thank you.
Okay, if no one else, we will close public comments at 8:19 p.m. Okay. General functions, business services. There are 10 items in general functions, business services. Items 18.1 to 18.4 are resolution items requiring a roll call vote. Is there a motion to take items 18.5 to 18.10 as a group or individually? Is there a second? Any discussion? Hearing none, calls for the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 5-0. Is there a motion for item 18.1?
So move, Porras.
Is there a second?
Second, Alvarez.
Any discussion? Hearing none, calls for the question. Roll call vote. Ms. Pierce?
Aye.
Mr. Alvarez?
Aye.
Ms. Porras? Mr. Duran?
Aye.
And I'm an aye. Motion carries 5-0. Is there a motion for 18.2?
Move, Porras.
Is there a second? Any discussion? Hearing none, calls for the question. Roll call vote. Ms. Pierce?
Aye.
Mr. Alvarez?
Aye.
Ms. Porras? Mr. Duran? And I am an aye. Motion carries 5-0. Is there a motion for item 18.3?
So moved, Alvarez.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, calls for the question. Roll call vote. Ms. Pierce?
Aye.
Mr. Alvarez?
Aye.
Ms. Porras? Mr. Duran?
Aye.
And I'm an aye. Motion carries 5-0. Is there a motion for item 18.4?
So moved.
Is there a
Porras,
second?
sorry.
Second, Alvarez.
Any discussion? Hearing none, calls for the question. Roll call vote. Ms. Pierce?
Aye.
Mr. Alvarez?
Aye.
Ms. Porras? Mr. Duran?
Aye.
And I'm an aye. Motion carries 5-0. General functions, educational services. There are 14 items in general functions, educational services. There's a motion to take these as a group or individually.
Group.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, calls for the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 5-0. General functions, personnel services. There are 2 items in general functions, personnel services. Is there a motion to take these as a group or individually?
So moved, take them as a group.
Is there a second? Any discussion? Hearing none, calls for the question. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 5-0. General functions, student support services. We have none. Right. General functions, superintendent. We have none. Consent items, student matters. Dr. May Volmar.
Yes. Item 23.1, reinstatement case number 23/24-11 on a motion made by Trustee Duran, seconded by Trustee Alvarez. The motion was carried 5-0 with the board accepting the recommendation of reinstatement. Reinstatement student case number 23/24-22 on a motion made by Trustee Porras, seconded by Trustee Pierce. The motion carried 5-0 with the board accepting the recommendation of reinstatement. Reinstatement student case number 23/24-32 on a motion made by Trustee Duran, seconded by Trustee Porras. The motion was carried 5-0 with the board accepting the recommendation of reinstatement. Reinstatement student case number 23/24-40 on a motion made by Trustee Porras, seconded by Trustee Duran. The motion carried 5-0 with the board accepting the recommendation of reinstatement. Reinstatement student case number 23/24-43 on a motion made by Trustee Porras, seconded by Trustee Pierce. The motion carried 5-0 with the board accepting the recommendation of reinstatement. Reinstatement student case number 23/24-51 on a motion made by Trustee Alvarez, seconded by Trustee Pierce. The motion carried 5-0 with the board accepting the recommendation of reinstatement. Reinstatement student case number 23/24-64 on a motion made by Trustee Porras, seconded by Trustee Alvarez. The motion carried 5-0 with the board accepting the recommendation of reinstatement. Reinstatement student case number 23/24-71 on a motion made by Trustee Porras, seconded by Trustee Duran. The motion carried 5-0 with the board accepting the recommendation of reinstatement. Reinstatement student case number 23/24-74 on a motion made by Trustee Alvarez, seconded by Trustee Porras. The motion carried 5-0 with the board accepting the recommendation of reinstatement. Reinstatement student case number 23/24-75 on a motion made by Trustee Porras, seconded by Trustee Duran. The motion carried 5-0 with the board accepting the recommendation of reinstatement. Stipulated expulsion case number 24/25-04 on a motion made by Trustee Porras, seconded by Trustee Alvarez. The motion carried 5-0 with the board accepting the recommendation of the stipulated expulsion order. Stipulated expulsion case number 24/25-05 on a motion made by Trustee Porras, seconded by Trustee Pierce. The motion carried 5-0 with the board accepting the recommendation of the stipulated expulsion order. Stipulated expulsion case 24/25-11 on a motion made by Trustee Alvarez, seconded by Trustee Duran. The motion carried 5-0 with the board accepting the recommendation of the stipulated expulsion order. Stipulated expulsion case 24/25-13 on a motion made by Trustee Duran, seconded by Trustee Pierce. The motion carried 5-0 with the board accepting the recommendation of the stipulated expulsion order. Stipulated expulsion case 24/25-14 on a motion made by Trustee Duran, seconded by Trustee Alvarez. The motion carried 5-0 with the board accepting the recommendation of the stipulated expulsion order. Stipulated expulsion case 24/25-20 on a motion made by Trustee Porras, seconded by Trustee Pierce. The motion carried 5-0 with the board accepting the recommendation of the stipulated expulsion order.
Thank you. Consent items, business services. There are 10 items in consent item business services. Is there a motion to take these as a group or individually?
So moved, Porras.
As a group?
Yes.
Is there a second?
I second that, but just to have a couple commentaries on number 4. Just, I know we're doing that for mileage, but what about the meal reimbursement? Is that coming up soon, or do we have any info on that?
We're actually looking at bringing that to the board at the next board meeting for a potential change effective February 1st, 2025.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 5-0. Consent items, educational services. There are 17 items in consent items, educational services. Is there a motion to take these as a group or individually?
I move to take those items 1 through 17 as a group.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second. Porras.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 5-0. Consent items, personnel services, there are none. Consent items, student support services. There are 3 items in consent items, student support services. Is there a motion to take these as a group or individually?
Moved as a group, Porras.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, calls for the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 5-0. Consent items, superintendent, there are none. Personnel actions certificated. Dr. Hyde.
Yes, we have a couple of retirements to announce. 4 in particular in our certificated world. I'd like to start with Karen Capriotti, who is retiring after 5 years of service from Van Buren. Tricia Capwell, who's retiring after a year and a half from Idiom Middle School. Tracy Lee, who's retiring from the Early Childhood Education Center after 25 years of service. And Shaw Zadines from Palm Desert High School, who's retiring after 18 years of service. These 4 individuals have 49.5 combined years of service to our district. So kudos to all of them.
Is there a motion?
Move, Porras.
Is there a second?
Second, Duran.
Any discussion?
Just want to say congratulations for making it to the finish line and enjoy your retirement.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 5-0. Personnel actions classified. Dr. Hyde.
Great. We have 2 retirements to share with the board and our team today. First one is Kelly Reinhart, paraeducator, special education from Glenn Middle School, who's retiring after 22 years of service. And then Jesse Smith, a custodian 1 at the Early Childhood Center, also retiring after 22 years. These 2 employees, 45 or 44 combined years of service to the district. And again, congratulations to both of them and thank them for their service to our students and our families.
Is there a motion? Is there a second?
Second, Alvarez.
Any discussion?
I just want to congratulate Kelly Reinhart. She was very active at Adams Elementary when it was an elementary school, and I worked with her a number of years. She's an excellent, excellent paraeducator, and I wish her the best.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 5-0. Call out of closed session actions. Dr. May Vollmer.
All right. Yes, so this evening in closed session, the board approved the appointment of the following individuals. Certificate Management Recommendation Julio Zaniga to the Assistant Principal position at Reagan Elementary School. And for Classified Management Recommendation, I'm going to do this. Apollonio, thank you, Del Toro for the Director of Transportation. This passed on a motion made by Trustee Porras, seconded by Trustee Duran, and the vote was unanimous. Also tonight in closed session, the board took action to place certificated teacher employee 21-1079 on compulsory leave of absence pursuant to Educational Code Section 45304, effective January 22nd, 2025, and directed the superintendent or designee to send out appropriate legal notices. This passed on a motion made by Trustee Porras, seconded by Trustee Alvarez, and the roll call vote was unanimous.
Suggestions for future agenda items that receive at least 3 votes. Ms. Pierce?
I have none.
Mr. Alvarez? Ms. Porras?
I have none, but I just do want to say that, Lucia Scarsiga was a light for us here at the district, and we will miss her terribly. And I'm just praying for the family through this transition. Nora Diaz, we love you and thinking about you. So.
I have none this evening. I have none also, but as Ms. Porras said earlier, I want to wish Mr. Aquino a happy birthday tomorrow. Announcements: the next regularly scheduled meeting of the Board of Education is February 4th, 2025 in the District Education Center Boardroom, 47950, Dune Palms Road, La Quinta, California. We do not need to reconvene to close session, and this meeting is adjourned at 8:31 p.m.